During the interview process, as candidates are talking to companies, what are some questions they can ask? What are some things that they can look for to make the best bet that the company they choose is one that is going to value their contribution and is going to respect the balance that someone's going to need in order to stay their whole selves?
We always tell candidates, you're interviewing the client as much as they're interviewing you. So I always tell every candidate that I have going in for an interview, it's important that you have some really good questions to ask, because I know you have them. You need to ask them. So what are those most important things for you? And to each person, it might be a little different, right? It's going to be a little different. So is it time off? Is it a path to advancement in your career? What does that look like? So I would encourage any candidate that feels that way to take a pad of paper and write down a dozen questions. A lot of them are going to get answered throughout the interview process without you even asking them, hopefully. But there are going to be 6, 7, 8 questions that didn't get answered, and they're going to turn it over to you and say, do you have any questions for us? And the worst thing you could do is say, no, I'm good.
What's a typical day like?
Yeah, or something like that. Just very basic, simple. Drill down. Think of questions that, you know what, I'm going to force their hand to come up with some examples that they really are the culture they claim to be. So drill down deeper to level 2, level 3 type questions, whatever that may be for you. You know, time off, what is the path to success here? What does that look like? What's going to be expected of me? Whatever it may be, and just come up with some really good questions like that. And when they answer the question, if it seems trite, if it seems like, I don't know that you really answered my question, drill down a little further. Say, can you give me an example of that? Is there anyone I could talk to at the company that knows a little bit more about this topic that I can, ask more? It's very important to me and my family. You may be risking some things, but it's not really a risk if it's the culture that you're hoping it is.
Exactly.
It won't be a risk to say, you know what, I'm going to get the answers to these questions. One way or another, I'm going to get my questions answered because they're important to me and my family. And I'm not willing to risk getting into this culture again that I just got out of, or I'm trying to get out of.